Notre Dame knocks off unbeaten Louisville and heads into their bye week 4-1, still with a lot of questions to be answered.
By Samaja, inside the 20, inside the 10, he's going in! Notre Dame has scored!
Go! You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal!
Notre Dame is relevant again.
The 20, the 10, 5-5 rocket touchdown!
Notre Dame is number one!
It's a game of who's going to flinch first. We know that it won't be Notre Dame.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Landon Traylor, joined by Dylan Kearns, Logan Traylor, and John Richards. First off, we want to say a very special happy birthday to Grandma Jill today, 70 years old today, our grandmother of the Golden Domers Report. And secondly, we would like to send our thoughts and prayers to all of those affected by Hurricane Helena. Just devastation throughout the country. So we are sending our prayers here at the Golden Domers Report to all of those affected by it. With that being said, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish beat the Louisville Cardinals 31-24 on Saturday. They really had chances to make it a 3-score game in the second half, but could not capitalize on any of the attempts that they made, or, they couldn't put the hammer down, if you want to say that. The game started off really, really bad. It was a fumble on the opening kick. 3 plays later, it's a touchdown, Louisville, from 15 yards out of the end zone.
Louisville, Notre Dame, underway. From the 10, across the 15, and out to the 23. Fumble! Notre Dame fumbled the opening kickoff. Aeneas Williams, the freshman, put it on the turf, and Louisville has it. Chuck play action and on the move. Wants to throw back, has an open man. Touchdown, Louisville. Tyler Shuck keeps it himself. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. He keeps it himself, and he's still rolling. Tyler Shuck inside of Notre Dame territory. Fumbled the ball. Fumbled at the end, and Notre Dame has it.
The Irish put up 21 per-quarter points.
On second down from the pocket. Steps up. Touch pass. Jaden Greathouse. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
But forgot that they can keep scoring. They scored 21 and just totally forgot that, we can still put the ball in the end zone. There's not a cap on how many points you can score. Price fumbled and Louisville got in the end zone again, this time around from just 10 yards out. After he fumbled, he only had 2 carries the entire game after he fumbled the ball.
Jadarian Price wrapped up in the backfield, fumbled. He fumbled, and Louisville has it.
Right on the ball. Whenever you have that ball that's flat, you hear about high and tight. You want the point of the ball up. You want your wrist above the elbow. When it gets down, that's when you're susceptible to getting the ball knocked.
The Irish were scoreless in the third quarter. Marcus Freeman went for it on 4th and 3 at the Louisville 49-yard line, which is basically saying it's our 49-yard line. If you're that close to midfield, it's basically not really matter right there. Didn't get it. Obviously, it was a terrible play with Riley Leonard up the middle. Who would have guessed that we would run Riley Leonard up the middle on 4th and 3 though? That's what gets me. Hold Louisville to a field goal. And the best play call of the game, in my opinion, was the screen pass to Jeremiah Love. Leonard rolls out of the pocket, fakes right, Love, bam, wide open, touchdown.
Someone's running the football.
Second down 5. Wants to throw back here. Well set up. Love with blockers out front. And a lane to the end zone. Love, touchdown.
We'll talk about all this in a second. Louisville got the ball back with 0 timeouts. Jeff Brom, on Tuesday's preview show, guys, I was talking Brom up like crazy. I love Jeff Brom. He coached one of his worst games in his coaching career on Saturday in South Bend. They had it 4th and 1, but a delay of game moved him back 5, and Shuck threw an interception, an incompletion, and the Irish were able to hang on. So with that being said, another note that I want to point out here is Notre Dame had a chance to run out the clock, but they did what they did against Ohio State. The play calling was terrible in that situation. Riley Leonard runs 3 times, gets stopped. They take up a little bit of clock, but Louisville gets it back with over the 2-minute timeouts. They have one given timeout left. So with that being said, we'll open up the panel because I'm sure we have a lot to talk about. JR, I want to open it up with you because I got a bone to pick with you, mister. Those
Fire away there, Lando.
those uniforms that we wore on Saturday, I'm a big uniform hater. I will say I don't like alternates. I'm to the classics. Just win the damn game. Those uniforms were bad ass on the field, in person. The gold was metallic. It wasn't the yellow gold that we always have. It was badass, JR.
I don't disagree that they were cool, but we're blue and gold last time I checked. We're not green and white. So if you want to wear those jerseys, that's fine. Do them somewhere else. At least if you're going to wear them, play a little bit better than you did, because we played about as sloppy as I think we looked. I don't like that. I think we should wear our traditional uniforms at home, period. I know it's a different time and it's a marketing and a recruiting thing and the players like it. I don't. I'm allowed to have my opinion. You don't like it? Sorry. Smell you later.
I know that. I just thought I'd have a bone to pick.
No. I'm not speaking to you specifically. I'm just saying in general. I do think they're cool, but you got plenty of opportunities to wear them. I mean, we're playing, in 10 different cities around the country this year. I'm a traditionalist. I like the blue and gold at home.
Right. Yeah, I get that, JR. So Logan, a 31-24 victory. It was another weird game for Notre Dame. Another one.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't going to be pretty from the first. You knew that right after we fumbled the opening kickoff. But you won ugly. You figured out a way to win. You figured out a way to beat a top 15 team. And, there's credit due there. And especially after you start the way we did, it could have gotten really ugly. Fumble it. They scored in 3 plays, and then we take it 12 yards or 12 plays for 75 yards. There's something to be said for that. I think obviously there's so much more that needs cleaned up, but I think we get a little too carried away of being too critical, and that's a good win. That's a good win, and that's a big program win in my opinion.
Yeah. Us getting critical, I can't believe that. I can't believe you'd say something like that. From a coaching perspective, I'll leave it with you, Logan. An ugly win. What do you say to your team after an ugly win like that? Yes, you won the game, but man, he did not look pretty doing it, Logan.
Well, you say that's how good you can be. You don't play to the level that we all know that they have, and I could argue they haven't reached that. And he talks about reaching their full potential. I don't think they're anywhere close to that. And I don't know if they'll get that due to coaching, but at the end of the day, you go into a bye week feeling a lot better being 4-1 than you do 3-2.
Absolutely.
And that is, you're still contending for the playoff. There's a lot to evaluate. There's a lot to fix. Now, does it get fixed? That's the question. You got, a whole week to kind of really evaluate what you want to change moving forward. But 4-1's a lot better than 3-2. Don't think anyone can argue that. And beating a top 15 teams even better.
Absolutely.
Or a team that might win the ACC, which ACC is crap. Talked about it last week, but the Louisville team that very well could win the ACC.
Yeah, right now it's looking like it's going to be Miami, Louisville, Clemson competing for the ACC championship. SMU, they could sneak in there as well. So, Dylan, the Pop Warner Irish, as you like to call them, what do you think about Saturday? Because I know you've been wanting to say a little something about Notre Dame on Saturday afternoon, so go ahead.
I have 2 things. First of all, I'm sad. I'm sad to tell you guys this. I don't know if you guys have understood it or come to grasp with it here, but we do know what the identity of this team is now. Like, I know we joked like, hey, they run the quarterback. No, we do. Like, that's going to be every game. So we may want to say, let's give the running back more carries. That's just not going to be the case, because 13 is going to be toting that rock every single chance he gets. So I think we understand what the identity is. And
Mhm.
in all honesty, guys, this is just sad. It's sad from the coaching perspective. You saw last year Mike Denbrock at LSU. What did he have? The best freaking passing offense in the nation. The best in the nation. He had Jaden Daniels. He had like spreading the ball out. Brian Thomas Jr. was making plays, leading the entire country in touchdown receptions last year. I mean, it's bad.
Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors. I didn't even mention him. He was the best one there. But what I'm saying is they threw the ball. They had a quarterback that they had an offense to where you can throw and make plays.
Mhm.
We don't. And we got the same guy that led that team. And I know there's a lot of hindering when it comes to our quarterback compared to the one that's now making great strides in the NFL as a rookie. But it's just so sad to see that this is where it's come to, because you bring in these transfers, and I'll say it, Bo Collins, if you're watching, I'm sorry that you came here because you're not maximizing your potential as a wide receiver. Not on you, but because of our coaching staff and because of the way we're running this Mickey Mouse offense where it's pick and choose. We're going to run the ball with our quarterback. We're going to be stupid. It's annoying. It's so frustrating to watch. I cannot sit through any more of it. I will because I love the Irish. It's just so frustrating. One more note. Brian Kelly, when he left our team, I hated the comment that Logan just said. I don't know I can't remember the wording. He said it was not necessarily a statement win, but he says something about this being a big win, which I will completely disagree about. And here's why. When Brian Kelly left Notre Dame, he left us at a tier where I would say you're probably a one tier, like one of those top teams. You're in between maybe a Penn State and a Clemson, somewhere in the middle of that. That's where Brian Kelly left us. With those expectations, with those results, 10 wins, winning those games. Maybe you lose the big one, but you're winning those games. Now you look at what Marcus Freeman's doing. You're a second tier team. You're a second tier team. You're in the middle of, you're probably like at the level of, dare I say, a Kentucky range. Like that's where you are as a program because of our head coach. You're right in that, you'll never get above that 10 mark because you're right at the 15 tier. And it's hard to come to grasp with that, but that's what we have on our coaching staff. We're not going to be this powerhouse that Brian Kelly left us as with Marcus Freeman at the helm. And I think last week
How in the hell were we a powerhouse?
Well, I'm not saying a powerhouse, but you won 10 games.
Said it.
Here. But I think we could argue that. I mean, a powerhouse.
I think you could argue that Marcus Freeman's teams have shown up bigger and bigger games. Kelly won games
that he should have, which comes to which brings it all to wraps here, where you said this was a big win. This would be another Saturday for Brian Kelly. He's not going to lose to Louisville.
Disagree.
Go ahead, JR.
Dylan, I agree with you and I disagree with you at the same time. I'm not going to hold Denbrock responsible for having guys that are not Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors. He just doesn't have what he had at LSU. And I think, Landon, to your point, that screen call he made, he has a knack for perfectly timed plays. He's very patient. He holds the ace up the sleeve, and more often than not, he's pretty well prepared. I also want to disagree with, now I agree with you as a whole for Freeman, but Freeman also has more wins against ranked teams, I believe 9 in his first year, than any other coach in Notre Dame history besides Frank Leahy. With that said, he's got his warts too. You can't be losing to the people that you lose to. Mm-hmm. I also want to point out that Notre Dame, I think, is only one of 2 schools that has wins against 2 top 25 teams. Everybody else only has 1. We have 2. Granted, you can say what you want about them, but there are part of our resume. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good that has taken place, but I feel that the bad is too much to overlook in feeling more confident about where this team's future is headed. I don't know if you, Landon and Logan, I don't think you saw the post-game press conference immediately after the game, but they asked Freeman, I forget who the sideline reporter was she asked him a question, and his response was, "Man, I don't know." And he looked really frustrated. He seemed kind of accepting to the fact that maybe he's a little bit over his head. He didn't have the answers. He come to the realization that, this year might not turn out the way that everybody hoped it was going to turn out. We're decimated with injuries right now. I mean, we are absolutely decimated with injuries to the point where a kid commit a personal foul, boneheaded personal foul with the little head bump. Our guy couldn't take him out of the game because he had nobody else to put in. He had no other defensive back to put into the game at that point. Now, whether he would have done that or not with other personnel, I'm not really sure. But Dylan, I agree with you and I disagree with you. But as a whole, I think we have problems with, I'll agree with you that Freeman as a whole, we have problems going forward.
Yeah. Is the frustration from Freeman's perspective the fact that it should have been 28-0 at halftime?
It should have been. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But it wasn't. But it wasn't. And
we all agree that it could be
he speaks of this consistency. Well, we're not getting it. We keep making the same mistakes over and over. First special play of the game. Again, we fumble it inside our 20. We're up 21-7. We're pinned inside our 10. Our backup running back puts the ball on the floor. It's no wonder he only got 2 carries after the game. I think Love doesn't see more action because he's not Audric Estime. I think he's like a little bit Glass Joe. We can't ask him to run between the tackles 20 times a game. He won't make it through the whole game. So we use him a little bit less. We put him in different spots, hit and miss. We try to use our backups. We had Aeneas Williams in there for most of the game, and he's no big back either. But you can't put the guy in that fumbled it inside the 10 either. Mm-hmm. So I think he's coming to the realization that bigger problems lie ahead. The bye is coming at a very critical point. We need the bye. So I'm happy with that. But I think he personally is worried about his future.
My biggest question for you guys, and our secondary is put on an island the majority of the game. We play man coverage where we play it every single play. It is a very rare point in the game we are ever in a zone. Mm-hmm. What would the outcome be if we trust our offense the way we trust our defense? Now, the 4th and 3, I heard him talk about that. It's if you don't get it, we trust our defense. We trust our defense in a bad spot. Mm-hmm. What does that offense look like if he says, okay, you know what, we're just going to go full rein into it, and we're going to put the same amount of trust we have in our defense and our offense?
I think we're 5-0.
Does that outcome change?
I think he did trust them. He trusts them to run the ball with Riley Leonard behind the entire line at 4th and 3.
I think Riley's the one that he trusts.
He trusts them in the way that we don't think is sufficient enough, shall I say. That play call at 4th and 1, okay, I get it. 4th and 3 in that spot, in that situation, again, and these are the same mistakes and the same decisions that he has made throughout the course of 3 years, not just in the last couple of games this season. Mm-hmm. So that's the frustration moving forward. Putting the defense was tremendous. I mean, we gave up one really bad series when we were up 31-17. We kind of let them go down the field, a long drive, 75 yards after, we kind of felt like the game was secure, and it wasn't. The game was not secure. But for the most part, our defense was outstanding, and we are very, very thin right now in the back and on the outside. Very thin. And injuries are piling up up front too. I think we had 4 true freshmen playing in the game at one point.
Yes.
So to your point, do they trust them? Yes. They trust them doing the things that Golden's asking them to do. Do we trust Riley Leonard spreading out and making those kinds of reads, or do we trust Riley Leonard getting the ball and going behind, a cavalry in front?
What's concerning to me is Riley talks about how banged up he is, how sore he is, how worn out he is.
Dude wants to go bass fishing.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
I'm surprised he hasn't been hurt earlier. to be honest with you.
Like that is a red flag because he's communicating that with the coaches.
Yeah. Hey, what's wrong with
that's not a secret.
There ain't nothing wrong with going bass fishing there, Frenchie.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. But when you're the starting quarterback at Notre Dame and you're on the bye week, I don't need you on the pond. I need you in the film room. Hey, I need you in the trainer's room. No, I need you in the weight room.
I disagree.
This is a good for a whole month.
This is a good mental relaxation for Riley Leonard. Clear his mind. Go out in your bass boat for an entire day. Cast
no relaxation. He missed all of spring, half a summer. He's only been playing for 6 weeks.
I know, but you think he wanted to miss? I mean, it's not like he wanted to miss.
He came to Notre Dame, and we recruited him there. I don't care what the circumstances are. To Dylan's point, this is where I don't trust our guy. Okay. All right, I'm in it to go 15-0, not to maybe go 10-2 and hope to get in.
Well,
and right now we're on the path for maybe 3 losses.
Yeah.
And if we're going to be a running quarterback, let's be a running team like Army and Navy. Let's just embrace that.
What I said that last week.
I thought about it. I'm like, if we're going to run him 20 times a game, let's do it with some creativity. Let's run the option. Let's run some misdirection. Let's run the wishbone. Let's throw it all out there if that's how we're going to be.
All right, let's bring it back in here, folks. Listen, I want to make a point. I want to make a point about Mike Denbrock. Let's say, he had talent at LSU, generational talent that we will never see in the game of football in a long time. I love Jade Daniels.
Especially at Notre Dame.
Right. 2012 and 2013, he was the offensive coordinator at Notre Dame. What was the emphasis on the 2012-2013 Notre Dame football team? Run the ball, trust your defense. He is calling, in my opinion, the 2024 Notre Dame football team like he did in 2012 and 2020 or 2013.
Yeah, I think there's a disconnect between Freeman and Denbrock. I trust Denbrock. I think he manages the game very, very well. Again, he was asked they asked Freeman, what did you talk to Denbrock about? And he said, it's not working. We got to try something different. Denbrock knows that, but he doesn't trust, to Logan's point, he doesn't trust him to try something different because he knows what he's working with and he knows what he has behind him with his defense. So he calls and manages the game one way while Freeman wants him to run it another way that Denbrock knows isn't going to be successful with the Jimmies and the Joes that we have. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have Daniels and Neighbors.
He doesn't, and he never will here. And
he was down to his third string running back, seemingly.
Correct.
And a banged up quarterback. I mean, we had to take a timeout there at one point just to get him a little bit extra rest on that one critical. I think it was a short yardage play.
He got drilled. He got drilled. On
yeah, he did. He did.
We were trying to run out the clock. He dove up the middle and he just got drilled.
I guarantee you, if Angeli was in there, he'd call a different game.
Now, I will say, Louisville's got a really dirty team. They
are. We're budding a nice rivalry with them. We're building up some hatred with them.
Yeah. I'm really glad that we don't play them next year. I'm kind of glad we're taking a little break from those nasty Cardinal fans and the nasty, they're a dirty team, shoving our quarterback, banging us. And you can say whatever you want about the headbutt. Apparently the Louisville players spit in his face. First of all, you don't do that though. You don't headbutt. That was unacceptable. You don't do that. Not here. We've had two. Oh, that's funny, Dylan. That's funny. So with that being said, bring it in here. Defense essentially, as JR mentioned, gave up just 1 touchdown that entire game. Louisville had 2 touchdowns inside of our 20-yard line after turnovers. That can't happen. It did happen, but look, we made plays. Riley Leonard was 17 out of 23 for 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 13 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown. I want to trust him a little bit more. He can throw the ball. Let him throw downfield. Leave him in the pocket, though. He cannot roll out of the pocket and make those short yardage throws out of the pocket. Leave him in the pocket. Let him throw. Jeremiah Love, he had 11 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown and 1 receiving touchdown. And Louisville really came to shut him down. To JR's point, Louisville came to play on the defensive side of the ball, at least in terms of shutting down our main run game. Greathouse with 61 receiving yards and a touchdown. Louisville on the day had 264 pass yards with 3 passing touchdowns and 131 rushing yards. So it was a sloppy win. We had our chances to really put the hammer down on Louisville. We couldn't get it done. We win by 7. We're sitting here 4-1, and I gotta say, I'm a lot happier right now sitting at 4-1 than I am at 3-2. However, in all honesty, let's be real, folks. We should be 5-0. We should be a top 5 team in the country, but we're not. And I'm not going to dwell on the past. So we're going to keep moving on how we are. And what we need to do now, continue to play the way we're playing and win games, to be honest with you guys. All in agreement?
You got to. I mean, there's no other choice here. You got to find a way to win some football games. This is a week where hopefully they get in there and they get whipped. They need to get whipped. That's what the team needs to be. They need to just get, wake up. Wake up.
Landon, here's a parallel I hope you don't experience. I hope you take Bob tonight with you to dinner. You burn him for birthday Jill. You go to a really nice restaurant, but when you walk out, you're like, man, I wish it was a better dinner than what. That's what it feels like. Notre Dame. We're 4-1, but the taste in our mouth isn't as good as what we hoped it would be, because really we should be sitting at 5-0. I hope you guys have a good birthday dinner tonight.
Yeah. Chow in Myrtle Beach, and a great Italian joint here in Myrtle Beach is called Chow. Fantastic Italian food here in Myrtle Beach.
That's a good point, JR. Notre Dame this year is like going to a very nice steakhouse and getting the wrong thing.
It's like going to a steakhouse and ordering chicken. Week 5 in college football had a lot going on, as we'll get to it. Miami survives Virginia Tech in a wild ending. My goodness. In my opinion, it should never been called a touchdown. The official did not have enough to see it was a touchdown. However, he did call it a touchdown. I don't think there was enough in the review to overturn that call. It has to be indisputable. It should have stood as called. It should not have been confirmed. There is a difference between stands and confirmed. It should have been the ruling on the field stands. Indisputable. There was nothing there that showed me that they could overturn that call. They did. Miami's still undefeated.
Do you think he called the touchdown to trigger the review?
He did, yes. But he should have just called it incomplete, and they would have reviewed it anyway. Because
no, they wouldn't have. I don't think they could have reviewed that.
They signaled
because it was under 2. No, I think circumstances. I heard a discussion about this. Circumstances dictated that the only way that could have come under review was by calling it a touchdown, because all scores are reviewed. They were out of challenges and under 2 minutes or something to that effect.
I got you, Logan. We're moving. I got it. Logan's a big Hoosier guy. We're getting to that. There's a lot more headlines, though, more than IU football being 5-0.
That's a great headline.
Alabama holds off Georgia in the game of the year. 28-0, 30-7, and Georgia rolls back like Georgia does, a Kirby Smart Georgia team does. Wow, that was the game of the year. I mean, just watching those teams, they're on such a bigger level than we are. I mean, it's amazing to watch.
They're on their own planet.
I mean, yes.
Isn't it disappointing?
Yeah. The SEC, there is a reality. The SEC puts half of the college football playoff.
They might have 5 teams.
6. I think they put 6. Half.
They might.
I mean,
Big Ten's going to put 3. ACC, Clemson will get
ACC should get 1.
ACC should get 0, in my opinion.
Clemson's going to get
Who's going to win the Big 12?
Right. I'm getting to that now. Anyway, Kentucky upsets Ole Miss in the SIP. Lane Kiffin might be on his exit path here to Florida, maybe. I'm hearing rumors. I know they're just rumors, but look at everywhere he's lost or he's left. Raiders, they started losing. Tennessee, ooh, middle of the night. I don't know.
He can TikTok his way to Gainesville.
Might be some Mel Tucker allegations coming for old Lane Kiffin down there in the SIP. Illinois defense breaks in the second half, and Penn State wins it 21-7. There in Jerry Sandusky and Diddy World in Happy Valley. Arizona knocks off Utah at Utah. The Big 12 is now wide open. K-State, just that one loss this year in the Big 12, they could be coming back and winning that conference. Arizona, Texas Tech, Prime. Did you just say Prime? I read your lips. Get out of here. Hey, quit stepping on my toes, all of you. Michigan survives late effort from Minnesota. I will say it's pretty bad when the governor of Minnesota comes down to Ann Arbor and roots for Michigan when they're playing Minnesota. Old Timmy boy, Tampon Tim Walls, Timmy Sandusky. You're not rooting for your state team? That's kind of, I don't know. And they almost pulled it off an upset there. But PJ Fleck's in trouble. I don't think he makes it through the rest of the season with Minnesota. Might need to untie his tie and row the boat on somewhere else. USC comes back and beats Wisconsin 38-21. Luke Fickle's got some issues there in Madison right now. Not looking good for the old Badges. K-State blows out Oklahoma State. Talk about a guy who has issues. Mike Gundy, he's in trouble. Army is 4-0. Rutgers is 4-0. Indiana is 5-0 and ranked number 23 in the country. 5-0 for the first time in 57 years. A fantastic win against Maryland. This offense came to play in the rain. The conditions were terrible in Bloomington on Saturday. Defense did not look too good, though. Watch out for that defense. They play a lot better offenses than Maryland, but Indiana's offense is legit and can hang with anybody in the Big Ten, in my opinion, JR.
I saw a stat, though, that every time after Indiana turned the ball over, their defense allowed 0 points and -9 yards.
Interesting. Running out of time on this one. We still got picks to do as well for week 6. You think we're taking the week off? Hell no. Louisiana beats Wake Forest. UNLV dominates Fresno State without their quarterback. We do our preview shows and picks on Tuesday mornings. The news about the UNLV quarterback broke Tuesday afternoon. So none of us knew what was happening with UNLV. It didn't matter. They went out and blew the brakes off of Fresno State in Vegas. Florida State is now 1-4 after losing 42-16 at SMU. This is pathetic. This downfall of Florida State needs to be studied. No, they won't fire him after one bad year after a snub. Duke was down 20-0. They win 21-20 over North Carolina. And lastly, Colorado knocks off UCF in Orlando 48-21. Coach Prime has them boys rolling right now. I will say he's got them boys playing good football. Colorado turning it around from last year. All right, time now to move on to week 6 in the picks. Here are the standings. In first place, myself, I have taken the lead. I had 2 big weeks back to back. 123 is my record. JR is in second place at 99-24. Logan is in third place at 95-28. And Dylan with a bad week. He had the worst week as anybody has all year. 17
history.
Yeah, 17-10 last week. 91-32 is his overall record. Now stands at dead last. Our P. Diddy prison inmate game of the week. We have 1, 2, 3 of them. Jacksonville State 1-3 at Kennesaw State 0-4. Friday night 7 p.m. on the CBS Sports Network. JR.
This is the P. Diddy game of the week. My God. Sponsored by baby oil.
Johnson.
I'm gonna go Jacksonville State.
Sponsored by Johnson & Johnson.
Give me Jacksonville State.
I will go with Jacksonville State.
Yeah, Kennesaw State having a tough transition into the Division I East. Jacksonville State wins it. Kennesaw State moves to 0-5. Purdue at Wisconsin, 12 p.m. on the Big Ten Network.
They just fired their offensive coordinator.
Really?
Purdue did. Yeah, Purdue removed their offensive coordinator this morning, I saw.
Wow, he's not the issue.
No. Give me Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Oh, pack of badges.
Oh, man, we're all going with Jacksonville State and Wisconsin. Eesh, I don't like the juju on that one. Give me the Badgers, though, at home. And our final P. Diddy prison inmate game of the week, UMass at Northern Illinois, 12 p.m. on CBS Sports.
You cannot call it that, the prison inmate game of the week. Came into our building and beat our ass.
They sure did. They sure did. Give me NIU.
NIU.
They've dropped 2 in a row, but they're not going to lose to the UMass. That team is lifeless. That team sucks.
This is back-to-back weeks that UMass has been in the prison inmate game of the week.
They should be out of the freaking D1. That team is horrific.
Hey, they're joining the MAC next year. We'll see them on Tuesday nights.
I wonder if those two talk weekly now.
They're best buds, probably.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's that's bad. Our non-ranked games of the week, we have a bunch of them. This is a pretty good week in college football again. Boston College at Virginia, 4-1 versus 3-1, 12 p.m. on the ACC network.
BC's never really been the same since coming home from Mizzou, but at Virginia,
yeah,
kind of a give me BC. I wouldn't be surprised if Virginia won, though.
Mm-hmm.
Give me BC.
Perfect. This is my spot, boys. This is how I get back all the way up. Give me the Cavaliers.
Yeah, Boston College did not look good against whoever they played after. I think it was Michigan State.
Michigan State, yeah.
State struggled against Western Kentucky last week.
Yeah, that's it.
Give me the Wahoos. Virginia at home at nooner on Saturday afternoon. Undefeated Rutgers at Nebraska, 4 p.m. on FS1. Nebraska fighting for a playoff spot right now with just one loss to Illinois, needing this win to stay alive. A loss, I think, eliminates them.
Yeah, it's where things are going to start balancing out. Rutgers, nice run. I told you, Shiano, you better pick him. He's going to come and whack you, Dylan. But I'm going to go Nebraska this week.
Nebraska.
Why is he going to whack me?
Italian, Tony Soprano.
Yeah, Soprano. Yeah, Shiano.
You guys both pick Nebraska?
I'm picking Nebraska, yeah.
Logan said Nebraska. All right. I'll go Nebraska, too.
Didn't you pick Washington last week?
Come on.
I did.
Yeah.
I picked Minnesota.
You did. That might be the worst pick.
You almost had it. They kind of got robbed.
God.
Give me the big red of Nebraska. He's rolling the boat. Give me Nebraska at home. I love Nebraska. I love Coach Rule. Give me Nebraska at home. West Virginia at Oklahoma State, 4 p.m. on ESPN2. You know, this isn't necessarily a big game. However, moving forward for these two schools, it is. If they want to stay alive in relevancy this season, both of these teams need this win.
Yeah, I think the Pokes are probably a little bit more hungry, and they're on the they're at home. They're coming off of 2 straight losses.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Gundy to rebound at home. Pokes.
West Virginia.
Boy, you're making a run.
He's desperate
to pick up ground.
Desperate already. We're only in week 6.
He's desperate right now, folks.
I picked Oklahoma State like the last 2 weeks because I believed in that freaking Ollie Gordon, and all he is a bad.
You've been waiting on him for like a month.
I know.
That's right. That's right.
He's a bad running back and a bad driver.
Yeah. Oklahoma State got beat by 3 points to Utah. They turn around and get the brakes blown off of them at Kansas State. Not good in Stillwater right now. However, I think they bounce back against a pretty bad West Virginia team. That guy is going to be looking for a new job soon. He was on the hot seat coming in. He's definitely on the hot seat now. UCF at Florida, 7:45 p.m. on the SEC network. Again, it's not necessarily a big game. However, moving forward for both of these schools, Dylan, you shake your head all you want. UCF's a Power 4 school now.
Oh, I'm shaking because that's a hard pick.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, this is a Power 4 game.
Yeah, some of these leagues, they're kind of crazy now. You forget who's in them. Yeah. Gus Bus got smoked at home as a 2-touchdown favorite. Now he's going to hang out with Billy.
Take that with a grain of salt. There's a lot going on in the state of Florida, as you know, with Helene, and it's hard to come out there and win when you're worrying about your family and stuff like that down there. Take that with a grain of salt, losing to Colorado like that.
Did you see what the East Tennessee State coach had to put up with? I mean, my God, unbelievable. I mean, just scared for your life on a bus. Yeah, that's something that's always in the real gambling. We've always kept an eye on, like, who's the team that's traveling into the natural disaster or traveling away, like Hawaii that one year with those fires.
Right.
I think I'm going to go Florida here. SEC, UCF, I'll stick to Billy.
Give me the Gators.
Just need to look something up real quick. Do we know if it is Mertz so good or if it's Lagway?
Huh.
Mertz got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah. Mertz is hurt.
They've been going back and forth. I know Lagway should be the pick because we've been on Mertz's ass for freaking years now.
Yeah.
All right.
Mertz and Shuck, they're like 28 years old.
You know what? I'm going to take the UCF Gus Ramses. Give me the Central Florida.
He's desperate. He is desperate.
Desperate.
Hey, if I see a line that's under 3, I'm going to take the opposer.
Yeah.
If you guys are riding the other way.
Man, Billy Napier. Interesting. However, for Central Florida, they're coming into the swamp. No matter how bad they are, that place is always tough to play in. Give me Florida to win this game. SEC over Big 12 any day. Duke at Georgia Tech, 8 p.m. on the ACC network. Again, Duke 5-0, Georgia Tech 3-2. However, big game in the ACC if they want to stay alive.
Yeah, Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, they need this one. We need them to keep winning.
I'll go with Tech.
Ooh, okay. I'm going with Georgia Tech as well. I think they upset Duke. Undefeated season for Duke ends at the hands.
They upset that. That's an upset.
Duke's 5-0. I mean,
Georgia Tech's 7.5 at home.
Yeah, I would consider that an upset.
Oh, all right then. All right. I guess I don't know what an upset is.
He'll play Bobby Todd.
Bobby Todd.
Todd, yeah.
You can say that right. That's a historic stadium, you jackass.
All right. Cool.
Texas Tech at Arizona, 11 p.m. on Fox.
Zona. Maybe a little letdown spot, though. Watch out.
Give me Zona.
Texas Tech. Kind of sounds like Testicle Tech. Yeah, we'll go the home team here. Give me Arizona.
Yeah, speaking of Testicle Tech, they got the brakes blown off of them by James Madison, 63-7 last week. Give me Arizona over Texas Tech. Man, late night game. Here we go. Moving on to the ranked teams. Excuse me. Dylan's got me all in a frenzy. What?
We're going to do it again?
Indiana's ranked, you moron.
Oh.
True.
Oh.
See that? It worked.
It did work.
Last minute and a half, he's called me a jackass and him a moron. Logan, I dropped.
Right, they are right.
Yeah.
See how not used to that I am?
Well, Dylan, that made me mad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you that, but you made me mad. That's a historical stadium. You can say it right.
Georgia Tech, all right? Good Lord.
Good Lord.
You need to look up your college football history then, because Georgia Tech.
I know enough. I
Powerhouse,
know
man.
it's a good looking stadium. I know that's how I remember it. But
Georgia Tech used to be a powerhouse. Michigan State at number 6, Oregon, Friday night, 9 p.m. on Fox. I hate to do this for a conference game. This is a head nodder because Michigan State is absolutely terrible this year. Terrible. Syracuse at number 25, UNLV, Friday night, 9 p.m. on FS1. Huge game for both of these schools. Syracuse still looking for that resume building win.
Going to UNLV.
It's had a bad loss, didn't it? Syracuse did.
Stanford.
is that a bad loss after?
Syracuse coming? No, they have a. That was a Friday night. No, they coming off a bye. Was that a week ago?
No, they played Holy Cross this past week.
Good Lord. Holy Cross? Is that Rudy school?
Give me UNLV.
Give me UNLV. God, can't get away.
I wouldn't be surprised if Syracuse wins this game, though.
Yeah, I'm stoked for this. Although, here's what we talk about, fellas. Short week. I know it's Holy Cross. Short week. Syracuse Northeast, all the way out west before the Friday kick. Woo.
Yeah.
Travel. Got to think about travel. That's give me the orange.
Yeah. You know, you're right on the travel there, Dylan. You know, UNLV, they played a great game against Fresno State. However, they are going to lose this game, I think, to Syracuse at home. You can only go so far. And, you know, I get beating Fresno State with all that going on. I don't think you can beat a Power 4 school without your number one guy, who is actually quite good. UCLA at number 7, Penn State, 12 p.m. on Fox. UCLA might be the worst Power 4 school. It's between them, Purdue, and Michigan State, maybe, and Cincinnati. Throw Cincinnati in there. Head nod pick. Nittany Lions, look at Tommy Allen. His defense playing really, really good this year. We're all going with Tickle Me Sandusky. Number 9, Missouri at number 25, Texas A&M, 12 p.m. on ABC. Big game for both of these schools.
What's the line on here?
Oh boy, I think A&M -1.
Yeah, it's A&M -1.
Yeah.
At least it was last night.
All right, boys. I'll give you a chance here. Give me Missouri.
Hi, boys.
Hey, boy.
There he is.
Yeah.
Time to burn Bob. Little burn lunch,
Who are you
baby.
going with, Missouri or Texas A&M?
Hey, you guys want to buy a ticket real fast
Yeah.
to the gun show?
Oh, yeah. Nice. Showcase it. Let it rip.
Slingshot.
Who are you going with?
Well, who?
Missouri A&M.
I'll go A&M.
Bob's rolling with the Aggies.
Hey, Bob, don't let the birthday girl see those guns.
I know. I got you.
I am rolling A&M. Elko gets it done. First signature win.
Yeah. He got it done last week against Arkansas in a good contested game. JR, I didn't hear your pick because I was interrupted by the gun show.
Missouri.
Drink it up. Drink it up.
I'd give you guys a chance.
I have not made a pick on this game. Oof, man, this is game of the week. This game of the week.
This is gonna be a good one.
At Kyle. Oh yeah, give me the Elko.
Is this a night game? A night game?
It's a nooner, unfortunately.
Which
That
is
was
11 a.m. 11 a.m. A&M time. Which I believe is the same time as Missouri, if I'm correct. So
11 a.m.
Good one. You redeemed yourself after the whole Toddy Todd situation. You know, A&M big game. Give me A&M at home and Kyle Field. Missouri, I have not liked what I've seen from them. After they beat Boston College, they haven't been. Something happened in that game for both those schools where they fell off the map a little bit. SMU at number 22, Louisville, 12 p.m. ESPN. Big game big week in college football, guys. Big game for both of these schools coming up.
This is a sneaky good, dangerous game here.
Yeah, it is.
Give me Louisville with their 40-year-old quarterback.
Louisville.
Guys, we talk about the spot all the time. They just got beat up on the road against us.
Yeah, but SMU's feeling good after beating the free shoe U. They're
Right.
They went on a shopping spree.
Are
You're
they?
right.
They
Yeah.
went looting.
Ooh, I'll take the Cardinals. They went to the Publix where Jameis was.
Piggly Wiggly.
Interesting. Listen, Notre Dame put shock on his ass all game long.
Yeah.
He's going to be – that boy was hurt. And Louisville had to bus there and back because the winds and the weather.
Yep.
Physical game at Notre Dame on the road. SMU, I don't think they're feeling too good about beating Florida State. That's shown to not be a good win on a resume. Sorry about it. It's not good. Give me the Mustangs. Pony up, bitches. Give me SMU on the road at Louisville. Moving along, Iowa at number 3, Ohio State, 3:30 on CBS. The first kind of real team that Ohio State faces. Unfortunately, it comes at the hands of Kirk Ferentz's offense.
Yeah, 0 State.
OSU.
OSU in a shutout. 20.
Ooh. Yeah, OSU big in this one. Here's another game that might get ugly in a hurry. Auburn at a pissed off number 5 Georgia, 3:30 on ABC.
I feel bad for Hugh, baby.
Not me. You know my feelings on Hugh.
Every time Deuce McKnight goes to visit Auburn, they lose. They lost. They blew an 11-point lead, a 10-point lead.
Yeah. 10.
Yeah, I can't pick them.
Dylan.
Once again, it's that spot. Physical game against Bama. Can't do it. Got to go with the Dogs.
Yeah, I'm going with the Dogs as well. Physicality to them is different than physicality to us. Let's be honest. They're going to play angry now because they just lost to Bama again. Cue the Brian Kelly again. Give me the Dogs. Number 12, Ole Miss at South Carolina, 3:30 on ESPN. Game of the year for both of these schools, in my opinion. Just the spot-wise, at least.
Yeah, man. Ole Miss schedule is going to get brutal here. I'm going to go Ole Miss.
Train gets back on the tracks. Ole Miss.
Gosh, I really want to pick the Cox at home.
Me too. Did they have a bye last week?
No. I don't think so.
Hold on, I got it right here. They beat Akron.
They had a bye. Yeah, they had a bye.
Yeah.
Oh, at home. Gosh, darn it.
Didn't they almost beat LSU?
Yeah, by
Should
3.
have beat LSU. Got screwed.
Yeah, they got. Yeah, they were picked 6
all the year. You know what? Give me the Cox. Because at the end of the year, that South Carolina Clemson game is going to be badass.
Okay.
Boom. Palmetto Clash, bitches.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care about South Carolina Clemson. We're talking about Ole Miss.
That's going to be a hell of a game. Most slept on game on rivalry weekend.
Disagree. Give me South Carolina at home. Ole Miss eliminated.
Wow.
At home, place is going to be rocking. Ole Miss coming off of a bad. I don't know if you guys saw it. I watched the highlights. They look terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. I mean, Kentucky.
They hadn't played anybody. I mean, it was like wake-up call.
That's the issue about scheduling.
Yeah, Kentucky's been playing everybody.
Right. Exactly.
They were ready.
In the JR Bowl, we have number 23, Indiana at Northwestern, 3:30 on the Big Ten Network.
What's this spread? 11.5?
10.5. I saw it at 10.5 last night. So this is the difference in feel. Notre Dame plays granted that two different opponents. I get all that, but Notre Dame plays the way that they played against Louisville, and you never felt really good. Indiana lost the turnover battle 4-0 and still put up 42 points and won by 14. Doubled the spread. Hoosiers by at least 17. Indiana going to be 9-0, boys.
Whoa, that's a stretch.
I'm on the SIG train. Give me the Hoosiers.
How are they going to keep him?
Huh?
How are they going to keep him?
I don't know.
Did you hear what Neuheisel said?
Yeah. I compared him to Nick Saban.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
No, he says like he's at his Michigan State spot right now, comparatively speaking to where Saban was on his journey up.
Here we go with the IU fans. Coach, they win a few games against Purdue. Coach Woodson's Coach Knight. Signetti's 5-0. He's Coach Saban. You guys are crazy. Dylan?
They'll win.
It's only been 60 years.
Exactly.
IU beats Northwestern, but then there's going to be a handful of losses coming their way.
Who do they have next week?
Nebraska.
At home, though, right?
Doesn't matter.
Nebraska was losing to Purdue.
Yeah, really think it matters?
That place gonna be rocking. JR, they really might be 9-0. Holy cow!
Yeah, that place gonna be rocking with the empty seats in the corners. That's
you guys laughed at me preseason when I said you should come to IU at Ohio State this year. You all laughed.
Ohio State by 30. Give me IU on the Lake Stadium of Northwestern that they're playing in. I think it only seats about $3,000. Give me IU on the road. Covers the spread. Number 1, Alabama at Vanderbilt, 4:15 on the SEC Network. Head nod pick here. We're all rolling with the Tide. Oh, JR, go.
Mark Lebo.
They'll win, but
okay.
I think we need to make the pick.
Okay.
Mark Lee has made he's won a couple big games this year.
And
I'm picking Bama. I'm picking Bama.
Logan?
Bama.
Yeah, it's Bama. They did. They had Mizzou on the ropes. Who they beat? They beat somebody.
They almost beat Missouri.
Almost beat Missouri.
They beat
Tech.
Virginia Tech is a good win.
They're awful, but it's a good win for Vandy. And
for Vanderbilt, that's a baseball school.
It's going to be a good game for Alabama.
Yeah, I think it will be decent.
No, you missed the pun. This is going to be a good game for Alabama. Tide roll. Number 15, Clemson at Florida State, 7 p.m. on ESPN. Florida State needs this. I'll tell you right now. I'm not going to do it.
Is free shoe you there yet?
I'm not going to make a head nod pick yet. When they come to the event, it might be.
They're going to be prison inmate. They keep it up here.
That might be our game.
Florida State, Florida prison inmate rivalry game
through that lobs
in the P. Diddy Classic, sponsored by Johnson & Johnson.
Florida State, Notre Dame, the prison inmate game of the week, and the all alternate uniform game.
I'll take Clemson.
Oh, you can eat crab legs.
41-10. You're gonna kill them.
Yeah, I want to see JR's reaction if Notre Dame came out in blue jerseys and the green pants.
They can wear what they want. Just don't do that stuff at home.
God, give me Clemson in this one though. I think Florida State competes a little bit though. I think they can.
Yeah, they will. Backs against the wall.
Yeah. Utah
Super Bowl.
Utah State at number 21, Boise State, 7 p.m. on FS2. Boise State has a Heisman hopeful that will carry them. I think this is a head nod pick. Utah State, they're having issues. Their coach, I believe, was put on a leave of absence before the season started. They're a mess. We're all rolling with the Smurf field. Number 4, Tennessee at Arkansas, 7:30 p.m. on ABC.
Love Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. To your credit about Ashton Jeanty, who you're referring to, he could get to 1,000 yards on Saturday. He's at 845, so all he needs is what?
Wow.
100. He'll be at 1,000 in week 6.
Jeez.
So just rolled into October. He's at 1,000 yards.
Stud.
Oh yeah, Tennessee all day.
Give me Rocky Top on the road. I do think Sam Pittman's Hogs give him a game, though. Tennessee coming off a bye after a big win on the road at Oklahoma. Give me Tennessee. Number 10, Michigan at Washington, 7:30 p.m. on NBC.
Say that again.
Number 10, Michigan at Washington, 7:30 on NBC.
You know, with Michigan's inability to, they're kind of like us. In fact, even they got bigger problems than us. Give me Michigan here. If Washington doesn't shoot themselves in the foot, they're going to find themselves in a game.
Agree. Cheeseburger paradise.
That's a first.
Yeah.
Are you guys missing the silver lining here? Washington's pissed. They lost to them in the national championship. Give me Washington. At home, they're going to be pissed.
They also just lost to Rutgers.
Give me.
That was good.
Yeah, gonna be. Give me Michigan in this one.
I wouldn't be surprised if Washington won though at all, Dylan. I really wouldn't. Like
they're favorited.
Yeah, are they?
They're favored
by 2.5.
Yeah, see, that's.
Give me Michigan.
ESPN's giving them a 57% chance to win the game.
Washington is favored by 2.5.
Yeah.
Michigan.
Oh,
No way. That's terrible. That's as bad as Auburn being -1. However, last week it could have happened. It should have happened. Auburn -1. They were -1 against Oklahoma. Anyway, yeah, give me Michigan. Number 11, USC at Minnesota. USC, they're struggling early in the Big Ten. They're 1-1. They beat Wisconsin, but they found themselves down 21-10. They lost against Michigan in a game that they should have won. Welcome to the Big Ten, baby.
Yeah, there's some teams that have some identity crisis going into these new conferences in these new regions. You know, you can't go into Minnesota and just expect to, throw the ball around the park the whole time. You're not going to be able to play that way late into the year. Still, I'll take USC here.
Trojan man.
Give me the rubbers.
Fight on, baby. Fight on. Baylor at
are they ribbed?
Just slightly used.
Wow. You guys are something else. Baylor at number 16, Iowa State, 7:30 on Fox. Second to last pick.
Baylor, where will
Baylor at Iowa State. Watch out, Iowa State. Aren't they top 10?
16. They're undefeated though.
Oh, yeah. Give me the Cyclones. Sneaky good game here, though.
Cyclones.
Iowa State all day.
Every time Dylan says WS, they lose. I'm going with the Cyclones as well. I have completely lost control of this show today. Number 8, Miami at Cal. Last pick, 10:30 on ESPN. This is the game that College Game Day is rolling into. And by the way, it's a conference game, folks.
Miami who?
You're funny.
Cal, they're like sneaky decent.
Average. They're sneaky average.
They are. They won at Auburn, right?
Yeah, but how good is that? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'm not going Cal here. I'm out on Cal.
Give me the U.
Chug it up. 6-0.
All right, man. JR is out on Cal. He's out on Calipari. Give me Miami in this one big on the road at Cal Berkeley. All right, that does it for this week. We are back next Tuesday. No Tuesday show tomorrow. No Monday show next week. We are back next Tuesday to preview a rivalry renewed in South Bend. Notre Dame and Stanford hash it out for the Battle of the Legends trophy. We're back next Tuesday. Until then, go Irish.